Have you ever thought about what it really means to grow old alone? One day, you wake up and the house is quiet. No calls. No visitors. Just you and the ticking of the clock. It's a harsh reality, but for millions of people, it's the truth. Do you think it won't happen to you? Think again. Studies show that 50% of people over 65 feel lonely, and it's getting worse. Loneliness is not just an emotion. It's a silent killer. It weakens your immune system, damages your heart, and shortens your life. But here's the good news, you don't have to accept this fate. Today, I'm going to show you how to take control. How to build a fulfilling life. How to never feel alone again. Because growing old alone doesn't mean you have to feel lonely. Stay with me until the end. These next 40 minutes could change your life forever. The brutal truth about growing old alone. Why do you have fewer friends as you get older? Think back. When you were younger, friendships were easy. You saw people every day, at work, at school, in your neighborhood. There were always new connections, new conversations, new faces. But then, life happened. People got married, had kids, moved away. Work took over. Time disappeared. And slowly, without realizing it, your world got smaller. At 30, you had dozens of friends. At 50, just a handful. At 70, maybe one or two, if you're lucky. This is not an accident. It's what happens when you don't protect your social life. Here's a painful truth. If you don't actively maintain your friendships, they will fade away. And the older you get, the harder it is to make new ones. Many seniors struggle with this, but almost no one talks about it. They sit in silence, feeling invisible, forgotten, unwanted. But you have a choice. You can take action now before it's too late. Because loneliness doesn't happen overnight. It happens one missed call, one lost friend, one quiet day at a time. So, what can you do to stop it? Family gets busy. Friends drift away. And then, you're left alone. This isn't just a feeling. It's a fact. Science proves it. Loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about that. Not having close connections is as dangerous as a pack-a-day smoking habit. Loneliness weakens your immune system, raises your blood pressure, increases your risk of heart disease, dementia, and even early death. It doesn't just make you feel bad. It is literally destroying your health. And yet, so many people ignore it. They assume it's just a part of aging. But that's not true. You don't have to accept loneliness as your future. You can take control. Loneliness isn't just an emotion. It's a silent killer. Harvard researchers found that chronic loneliness increases the risk of early death by 26%. That's the same impact as smoking 15 cigarettes a day without ever lighting one. How does it happen? When you're lonely, your body goes into stress mode. Your cortisol levels rise, increasing inflammation throughout your body. Your heart works harder. Your immune system weakens. Your brain ages faster, making dementia 50% more likely. And here's the worst part. Many seniors don't even realize it's happening. They say, "I'm fine. I like being alone. I don't want to bother anyone." It's too late to make new friends. But deep inside, they feel the silence. The empty house. The meals eaten alone. The phone that never rings. And day by day, their body pays the price. But here's the truth, it's not too late. You don't have to accept loneliness as your reality. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what you can do to change it. If you're waiting for someone to check in on you, call you, invite you out, you might be waiting forever. This is the biggest mistake that leads to loneliness in old age. Many people think, if they cared, they would reach out. I don't want to seem needy. They're probably too busy for me. So, they wait. And as they wait, days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And eventually, the calls stop coming altogether. The truth is, people aren't ignoring you. They're just caught up in their own lives. Your children? They're juggling work, kids, and responsibilities. Your old friends? They assume you're doing fine, just like you assume they are. And so, without realizing it, you start disappearing from their lives. Not because they don't care, but because you didn't remind them you're still here. So here's what you must do. Take the first step. Make that phone call. Send that message. Ask someone out for coffee. Don't let pride keep you isolated. Because if you keep waiting for others to notice your loneliness, you may wake up one day and realize no one is coming. But you have the power to change that, starting today. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. Not your children. Not your old friends. Not even the neighbors who used to check in. Only you can pull yourself out of loneliness. And that's why so many people slowly fade away into isolation without even realizing it. At first, it's subtle. You stop reaching out. You tell yourself, I don't want to bother anyone. Days pass, then weeks, then months. One day, you wake up and realize no one has called. No one has checked in. No one even knows what's happening in your life. And it hurts. But here's what's even scarier. Most people don't even notice how lonely they've become until it's too late. Until they've forgotten what connection feels like. Until they sit in silence every night, wondering why no one remembers them. But it doesn't have to be this way. Because while no one is coming to rescue you, you can save yourself. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how. 5 things you must do immediately when you feel lonely. 1. Find a community, clubs, senior groups, and social circles. Loneliness is a silent killer. And the worst part? It tricks you into believing you have no options. But that's not true. Right now, there are thousands of people just like you, feeling the same loneliness, searching for the same connection. You just have to find them. Think about this. How many times have you told yourself, I wish I had someone to talk to? But then spent the entire day alone? You don't have to do this anymore. Here's what you can do. Join a local club, book clubs, gardening groups, or senior activity centers. Find a faith-based group, churches, meditation circles, or spiritual meetups. Try a hobby group, painting, music, or even a simple walking club. These groups already exist. All you have to do is show up. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first. Yes, you might feel like you don't fit in. But remember this. The first step out of loneliness is taking action. Because if you wait for someone to come to you, you'll be waiting forever. So, what's stopping you from reaching out today? 2. Keep your body moving, exercise to stay mentally strong. Your body and mind are connected. When your body slows down, your mind follows. And that's a dangerous trap. Because once you stop moving, your energy fades. Your motivation disappears. And before you know it, loneliness takes over. But there's a solution. Exercise. Not for the muscles. Not for the weight loss. But for your mind. Because movement creates energy, and energy creates happiness. Think about it. When was the last time you took a long walk and felt worse after? Exactly. You don't need to run a marathon. You don't need to lift heavy weights. But you do need to move every single day. Here's how to start. Walk for 15 to 30 minutes daily. It clears your mind and lifts your mood. Stretch in the morning, a few simple moves to wake up your body. Try gentle exercises, yoga, tai chi, or water aerobics. The goal? Get your blood flowing, keep your mind sharp, and remind yourself that you are still alive. Because the moment you stop using your body, you start losing your life. So, will you take one step forward today? 3. Rebuild your relationships, call, text, and reach out first. Are you waiting for someone to check on you? Waiting for an old friend to call? Waiting for your family to visit? Stop waiting. Because here's the truth. Most people are busy. They're caught up in their own lives. They're not ignoring you on purpose. But if you don't reach out, you'll slowly be forgotten. And that's how loneliness wins. So what should you do? Take the first step. Call an old friend, just say, "Hey, I was thinking about you." Text your family, don't just wait for them to check in. Send a message, a simple "How have you been?" can reignite a connection. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first. Yes, some people won't reply. But that's okay. Because the more you reach out, the more bridges you build, the less lonely you will feel. So, who will you message today? Don't overthink it, just do it. 4. Find a new hobby: writing, painting, learning music. Do you ever feel like time is slipping away? Like every day blends into the next? Like you're just waiting for something to change? Then it's time to create something new. A new hobby isn't just something to pass the time. It's a way to bring joy back into your life. It's a way to keep your mind sharp and your spirit alive. So, what can you do? Write your thoughts down. Start a journal. Share your life experiences. Pick up a paintbrush. You don't need to be an artist, just enjoy the colors. Learn an instrument. It's never too late to play your favorite song. The key is to try. At first, you might not be great, and that's okay. You're not doing this to impress anyone. You're doing this for you. Because when you create, when you learn something new, when you pour your energy into a passion, you'll feel alive again. So, what's something you've always wanted to try? Now is the time. 5. Adopt a pet, scientifically proven to reduce stress. Feeling lonely? Waking up to an empty house? Science has found a simple solution. Get a pet. Studies show that having a pet can lower stress, reduce blood pressure, and even increase your lifespan. Why? Because a pet gives you purpose. A reason to wake up, to move, to care, to love. Imagine this. You walk through the door, and someone is excited to see you. A wagging tail. A soft purr. A friend who's always happy you're there. It doesn't matter if it's a dog, a cat, or even a bird. What matters is that they bring companionship into your life. Many seniors avoid getting a pet because they think, "What if I can't take care of it?" The truth is, there are pets for every lifestyle. Older dogs and cats are low maintenance and just want love. Small pets like birds or fish can bring joy with little effort. Some shelters even offer foster programs where you can care for a pet without a lifetime commitment. So ask yourself, wouldn't it feel good to have a loyal friend by your side? Maybe it's time to open your home and your heart. The story of a 75-year-old woman who found purpose through art. At 75 years old, Mary thought her best days were behind her. Her husband had passed. Her children were busy with their own lives. And she spent most of her days alone, staring at the same four walls. Then, one day, something changed. While cleaning out her attic, she found an old sketchbook from her childhood. Inside, drawings she had made decades ago. Dreams she had forgotten. She thought to herself, why not try again? So she bought a set of paints, picked up a brush, and started creating. At first, it was just a hobby. But soon, it became her passion. She signed up for a local art class for seniors. There, she met others just like her, people looking for meaning, connection, and joy. They laughed. They shared stories. They became friends. And something incredible happened. Mary was no longer lonely. She had a reason to wake up every morning. She had found a new purpose. And within a year, her paintings were displayed at a local gallery. At 75 years old, she had reinvented herself. So ask yourself, what is something you loved as a child but left behind? Because maybe, just maybe, it's time to rediscover it. The story of an 80-year-old man who started a YouTube channel and connected with millions. At 80 years old, Robert felt invisible. His children had their own lives. His friends were no longer around. And the world seemed to have moved on without him. One evening, while watching his grandson browse YouTube, he asked, "People really watch videos from strangers online?" His grandson laughed and said, "Of course. Anyone can share their stories, even you, Grandpa." That night, Robert had an idea. Instead of spending his days alone, why not share his life experiences with the world? So with nothing but a phone and a heart full of stories, he hit record. His first video? A simple message. "If you're old and feeling lonely, you're not alone. I'm here." At first, barely anyone watched. But then, something amazing happened. One comment. Then 10. Then 1,000. People from all over the world wrote to him. "Thank you for this. I needed to hear it. You remind me of my grandfather. I miss him. Your words gave me hope." Within a year, Robert had over 500,000 subscribers. He wasn't just a retired man sitting at home anymore. He was a voice, a mentor, a friend to millions. And for the first time in years, he felt alive. So if you ever think it's too late to start something new, remember Robert. Because the world is waiting to hear your story. Act now, avoid regret before it's too late. What will you try first? Leave a comment below and let us know. Don't just watch this and move on. Take action. Right now. Because every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. Start today. Even if it's small. Pick up the phone. Go for that walk. Join that club. Say hello first. Because one day, you won't be able to. And you don't want to look back with regret. And one more thing. Share this video. Someone out there needs to hear this. Someone who feels alone. Someone who thinks it's too late. But it's not too late. You're still here. You still have time. So go live before life slips away.